The story of Joseph. Jacob loved God. He had come to live in Canaan with his 12 sons. Jacob's favorite son was Joseph, and so he gave him a special present, a coat of many colors. Jacob taught Joseph to love and trust God. This trust would be put to the test. Joseph's brothers were jealous. They hated Joseph because their father loved him the most, and because Joseph had incredible dreams. He told his brothers how they had all been in the harvest fields tying up the corn when their sheaves of corn bowed down to his. Another time, Joseph dreamt that the sun and the moon and even the stars were all bowing down to him as if he were a king. He told his brothers about his dreams. They guessed the dream was about them bowing down to Joseph, and you can imagine they were not pleased. One day, Jacob asked Joseph to go see if his brothers were safe. They had been away for a long time in the fields, and they were looking after the animals. When the brothers saw Joseph, they wanted to kill him, but Reuben, the eldest, said they should throw him into a pit instead. Soon after, some merchants came by on camels. They were on their way to Egypt, and one of the brothers said, "Let's sell Joseph to make some money." So they pulled Joseph out of the pit, they took his coat, and they sold him for 20 silver coins. The brothers dipped Joseph's coat in goat blood and took it to their father. Jacob thought Joseph must have died, and he was very upset. Joseph, meanwhile, was sold as a slave to a rich man in Egypt called Potiphar. Because Joseph trusted God, he worked very hard as a slave and was soon put in charge of Potiphar's house and all his other slaves. Sadly, Joseph was soon in trouble again, but he wasn't to blame. He had upset Potiphar's wife, and she had made up lies about him. Joseph was put in prison. Joseph knew God was still taking care of him. With Joseph in prison, there were 2 men who worked for the Pharaoh. They had both had strange dreams, and Joseph told them what the dreams had meant. Later, Pharaoh had strange dreams too. No one could tell him what the dreams meant. One day, one of the men, now freed from prison, told Pharaoh about Joseph's ability to interpret the dreams. Joseph was sent for. In one of the Pharaoh's dreams, 7 fat cows came out of the river Nile, followed by 7 thin cows. The thin cows then ate up the fat cows. In the second dream, 7 fat cornstalks were eaten by 7 thin cornstalks. With God's help, Joseph explained the Pharaoh's dreams. He said there would be 7 years of good harvests in Egypt, when there would be lots of food for everyone to eat. Then 7 years of famine would follow, where nothing would grow. He told Pharaoh that they should store corn so that they would not starve. When all of this happened, as Joseph had said, he was made governor. Joseph knew God was with him in the good times too. In Canaan, Jacob and his sons were not doing as well. They were starving. Jacob sent 10 of his sons to Egypt to buy corn from the governor. Joseph's brothers didn't know it was him. They told him about their family, and Joseph had a plan. He accused the brothers of being spies, and to prove that they weren't, the brothers must return with their youngest brother. Meanwhile, Simeon would stay in prison. The brothers took their corn home and then returned to Egypt with their youngest brother Benjamin. They were so pleased when Joseph welcomed them and set Simeon free. But then Benjamin was accused of stealing a silver cup. This was also part of Joseph's plan. Joseph wanted to see what kind of people they were now. He told Benjamin that he must be his slave. But Judah, the older brother who had sold Joseph years ago, said, "If you keep Benjamin, my father will die of grief. Please keep me instead." When Joseph saw his brothers had changed, he told them who he was, and then he asked them to fetch his father. All the family moved to Egypt to be with Joseph. Throughout Joseph's life, he had loved and trusted God in good times and in hard times too.